I met Buck O'Neil for the very first time in 1993 when I was volunteering. And it was odd that in our social circles, we had never encountered one another. Now, I had heard about Buck O'Neil, but I'd never met him until I started volunteering for the museum in 1993. And I remind people, once you're bitten by the Buck bug, it's a wrap. You just want to be on Buck's team, the charisma, the energy, the passion for what he had and wanting to make sure that this story would be recognized. And I remember early on when I met Buck, one of the first questions I ever posed to him was, what motivated you to want to build a Negro Leagues Baseball museum? And his answer was very succinct, but also very poignant, so that we would be remembered. And it's been that quest ever since. And so you just wanted to be on Buck's team. And I was very blessed to have such a kindred relationship with this man. He was one of my very best friends. He was my mentor. He was my confidant. We travel all over the country. I'm watching him preach the gospel of the Negro Leagues and the virtues of his museum to any and everybody who would listen. And I'm there for the ride. I'm hanging on the hem of his garment. And now I get to preach the gospel of the Negro Leagues and the virtues of Buck's Museum to anyone that I can get to listen to old Bob. And every time I tell a story that Buck related back to me, I feel like I'm keeping him alive in my mind and in my heart. And I don't want people to ever forget Buck O'Neil. Buck O'Neil was one of the most amazing human beings to ever walk the face of this earth. Most of us who fell in love with Buck, we never saw him play. We fell in love with the Buck O'Neil who told us about the heroes of the Negro Leagues. But we also fell in love with the Buck O'Neil who so beautifully and vividly demonstrated to all of us that you could indeed get further in this life with love than you could with hate. And that's the Buck O'Neil that we all fell in love with. And so his spirit certainly plays on here at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. He had a teacher named Emma Mae Booker, who had Booker Grammar School. And so that's where he was educated. And then she took him to Edward Waters, where he finished his high school degree and 2 years of college at Edward Waters, was playing baseball and football at Edward Waters. And then the lure of professional baseball, a guy named Adolph Lukey, as he would say, came to him and said, we're going to pay you $500 a month and all expenses to go to Cuba to play baseball. And Buck went to play baseball, and as Buck would say, that was the end of the education. Yeah, the lure of professional baseball got him, and of course he would eventually make his way here to the Kansas City Monarchs in 1938. Buck O'Neil lived the legacy.